أو كيف السبيل.
Humanity sets the agenda.
You are listening to the Mid-Morning Talk on Salam Media, and I'm your host, Tamari Mukwanda. This year's Hope Indaba took place yesterday at the Klein Cup Boutique Hotel in Centurion, simulcast on social media platforms such as YouTube and Facebook. Hope, compassion, truth, justice, and freedom are the words used to describe the discussion. Joining me is the moderator for the Indaba and also the founder of Transformative Health Justice, Shabnam Palesa Mohamed, as well as Rochelle, Maynard, who was also part of the Hope Indaba, which took place yesterday. Assalamu alaikum, Shabnam. Shukran for joining me. And good morning, Rochelle. Thank you for joining me as well.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Now let's start first by you telling us about yourselves and your roles at the Hope Indaba. Shabnam, please go first.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mariam. So as you've mentioned, I am the founder of Transformative Health Justice. I also play a leadership role in the International Legal Alliance for Health, as well as the African Health Independence Solidarity Alliance. And I'm on the steering committee of the World Council for Health. And I was very honored that the Hope for Humanity team, of which Transformative Health Justice is a part, invited me to become a moderator at the Hope Indaba 2021. And it was an absolutely brilliant event. Of course, Mariam, as you've alluded to already, the aim of the event is building health independence for Africa. So what we did is bring together experts in medical science and human rights law. And as many of the Salam Media team have observed, it was a superb event and we're looking forward to many more. Over to Rochelle.
Yes, thank you, Shabs. So I'm involved in media, and over the last couple of months, we've launched something called Hope for Humanity, which is a movement that has really taken huge ground in the last few weeks. I think there's so much desperation out there for people wanting information and wanting hope. There's so much negative press out there. The media is not covering necessarily the truth and bringing a distortion to the messages that are going out. So we've just had such a beautiful response from the people around us. We started a couple of weeks ago with a Hope for Humanity rally, and we've just seen the people desperately wanting to find someone else that they can connect with. And the group and the movement has just grown over the last couple of months to such an extent that the Hope Indaba was launched. We've been working with some of the medical teams and the legal teams, and it was just an opportunity before elections for us to bring a message of truth and hope to the nation. So that's how Hope Indaba was launched this week.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So what is the mission and the vision of the Hope Indaba, Shabnam?
So, Mariam, we face enormous challenges as our beautiful continent of Africa, from issues of corruption to this ineffective lockdown, the obstruction of COVID-19 treatments, which we know work, human rights violations in relations to these expensive jab trials, and of course, the censorship of free speech, which is the symbol of democracy, or it should be. And of course, most recently, governments announced that children will be encouraged to take these experimental jabs. So for us, the mission and the vision was to analyze the challenges we face during this COVID-19 chapter and to co-create visionary and practical solutions for strengthening Africa's health independence. And of course, we managed to achieve that by bringing together experts from the medical field as well as the human rights justice field, as Rochelle has just mentioned. And of course, it was very important to us and always will be that we need African solutions to African problems. In the words of Kwame Nkrumah, that's what Africa needs more than anything else. And combining our efforts and realizing that we are in fact a united continent, that Africa could become one of the greatest forces for good in the world. And we saw that emphasized and resonated in the event yesterday with the organizing thereof by Hope for Humanity, which have done such amazing work in pulling this off, as well as our panelists who left there feeling rejuvenated, and of course our audience members, which Rochelle will tell you about as well, filled with hope, filled with information, and looking forward to building health independence for Africa.
Mm-hmm. And now, Rochelle, how quickly was the event organized? Because I know the media received a briefing yesterday in the morning when the event was set to take place at 2 p.m. And what was the experience like?
Yeah, so the quick version and the quick answer to that question is only in a couple of days. But actually, there was a lot of preparation that has been going on for months behind the scenes, and we didn't even realize that was actually preparation for what happened this week. So some of the connections and the meetings, we have been inundated with Zoom meetings and medical legal teams. So all that preparation was obviously preparation for this week. We just didn't know where it was eventually going to live. But we've been doing a lot of homework for many months, and there's been a beautiful team behind us that stand together. So Hope for Humanity, there was a core team of about 10 of us that managed to get it together in a couple of days, but there's so many more people from the media teams, as well as the, like I said, the doctors and the advocates and the lawyers behind us that have been feeding information to us and just working together. And there's been such power in the unity that has come across, and we've met the most amazing people over the last couple of months. But there was a sudden urgency to put the Hope Indaba together now, especially before elections. So there had been talk about putting the Indaba together for about the last 4 or 5 weeks, and not really sure if it was meant to be or not. And then on Monday, we just really felt that it was something we had to go ahead with. So we had our first meeting, I think, on Wednesday at the venue to organize how everything would look. We managed to get our panelists together, and that's why the invites went out so late. It wasn't that we had planned this date and this event long before. It was literally put together in a couple of days, but the information we've been gathering for many months. And the key thing, like I said, is to do this specifically before elections, because what does the Hope Indaba and what does lockdown and health independence have to do with the elections? Well, the answer is actually everything, because if we don't make the right decisions now before elections and choose the right parties, we're not going to have the freedom. So I think the fight that's going on at the moment for the children, with they're not needing consent from their parents before having to have the jab, I think all of those things are specifically things that we need to take a stand for now while we can. So for us, the 1st of November is a huge day for people to start standing up and fighting for freedom and fighting for our rights before we don't get those choices. So yeah, that's the information that needed to go out this week so people can start equipping themselves.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'd like to know what was the response like from the public, Rochelle. But hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break and we'll continue when we return.
Kiki's have now reopened on 235 Matthews Mayiwa Road in Durban. Head on over for the Taste with Kick. We offer something scrumptious for everyone in the family. Wraps, chicken tikka, burgers, tender grills, mocktails, milkshakes, and so much more. Corporate and events catering available. Visit our social media pages for more info or call 031 209 0119. Kiki's, the Taste with Kick.
Famine, conflict, and severe economic decline make the humanitarian crisis in Yemen the worst in the world. More than 20 million Yemenis do not know where their next meal is coming from, and over 10 million are suffering extreme levels of hunger. With your support, the Al Imdad Foundation delivers essential food aid to starving Yemeni communities. It's a question of survival. So let's do what's right. Donate online at alimdad.com. or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
For a long time, we've lived in a centralized world where institutions held the all-important data and confirmed all transactions. Those times are over. Welcome to Libertas Group, a blockchain development company building an ecosystem that continually redefines the way we do business. Our blockchain is decentralized, making it immune to hacking or alteration, putting the power back in your hands with no middleman, so you can focus on the growth of your business. Libertas, the simplest investment choice you'll make.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness. And every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and freezer card calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media. Humanity sets the agenda.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Mid-Morning Talk on Salam Media, and we are talking about the Hope Indaba, which took place yesterday at the Claim Cup Boutique Hotel in Centuria. All right, still with us is Rochelle Maynard from Hope for Humanity, as well as Palesa, Shabnam Palesa Mohamed. Thank you for staying with us. Now, before I get to you, Rochelle,
if you ask me about love and wanna know about it, my answer would be it's everything about Allah, the pure love to our souls, the creator of you and me, the heavens and the whole universe, the one that made us whole and free, the guardian of his true believers. So when the time gets hard, there's no way to turn, as he promised he will always be there to bless us with his love and his mercy, 'cause as he promised he will always be there. He's always watching us, guiding us.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media.
Sorry about that, guys. Hey, I guess it was bound to happen. You know, when you work from home, you do get some unexpected visitors. All right, back to Shabnam. What were the panels about, and who were the panelists?
Thanks, Mariam. So the panels for the science and medical included, esteemed guests like Dr. Herman Edeling, Dr. Ivan Jardine, Dr. Sakiwo Yako, Dr. Pinky Kakani, Dr. Nasiba Kadrada, Fahri Hassan, as well as Dr. Jackie Stone from Zimbabwe. And of course, with them, we focused on issues such as the booster shot. We talked about treatments that are safe, cheap, and effective that work, including IVM. We're not allowed to say the whole word, as we know. We also spoke about the impact of these types of medicines in poor areas. How can African countries work together to make our own decisions? That was a very important thread that kept coming up during the science and medical panel. We also spoke about natural immunity versus jab immunity, where the science is actually very clear that natural immunity is absolutely better than jab immunity. We spoke about big pharma corruption in health regulatory authority, and how do we advocate for treatments like Lengana, turmeric, neem, Nigella sativa, aspirin, vitamin D, etc., to be accessible for us as Africans. We covered the conflicts of interest in the health ecosystem, from the multinational corporations to conflicts of interest in South Africa's healthcare. How do Africans take back our power? And with Dr. Jackie Stone, we spoke about the harassment of healthcare workers across the continent. Given that Africa's doctors have managed the AIDS pandemic with less resources than anyone else, what can Africa teach the world? With the health and science panel, we also spoke about a letter that Dr. Edeling wrote to the president regarding the jabs. We spoke about the jabbing of children. That was a very important topic. We spoke about jab injuries that people are experiencing, and how would Africans, and in particular poor Africans, access treatment for that. The polarization amongst healthcare workers, how do we build the bridge? What do we do differently the next time the WHO announces a pandemic? The plans to build an mRNA manufacturing plant in South Africa. And with Dr. Jackie Stone, what's changed in the healthcare community in Zimbabwe? So that was what we've covered in the health and science panel, Mariam. And then very quickly, in terms of the justice panel, we had Advocate Sabelo Sibanda, Willie Spies, Advocate Pierre Deval, Advocate Richard Crompton, Advocate Obed Kondongwe from Zimbabwe, Bongani Lutuli, and Nick Hudson. And there what we covered was, very importantly, presiding officers at courts saying they're not going to allow unjabbed people access into courts, which is, of course, a violation of the right to access justice. We talked about informed consent for children, and the fact that jabs do not qualify as treatment or procedures, and therefore the Constitution can't be used to say that minors can make informed consent. We spoke about the burden of proof for victims of jab injuries and compensation. Not one victim has been compensated yet, despite reports being logged with our independent system, surveyors.co.za. We spoke about SAPRA appealing the court judgment regarding ivermectin report backs. With Advocate Kondongwe from Zimbabwe, we spoke about COVID-19 being used to enforce medical apartheid across the continent and whether us as Africans should approach the ICC. We spoke about mandatory or forced jabs at workplace and universities, given that unemployment in our country is a pandemic or an epidemic in itself. And we spoke about the impact of censorship and disinformation versus the public's right to know. And how do we move forward? We're very thankful, of course, for media like Salam Media and, of course, Trial Side News that is uncensored and allowing alternative voices to be heard. So from there, we spoke with the state of emergency and the state of disaster, which we're not. We spoke about emergency use authorization for the jabs, the NCCC being an undemocratic instrument that is overreaching our democracy. What is the authority of the WHO over sovereign countries, if any? The exorbitant contracts signed with Big Pharma that are protected by non-disclosure agreements. Of course, we've had no say in that, Mariam. And the concern, of course, is who do our assets actually belong to? And finally, we spoke about how the right to protest has been severely damaged during COVID-19, and how do we move from fear into freedom out of this COVID-19 chapter. So that's a summary of the panelists and the brilliant topics that we covered. Thanks, Mariam.
Indeed, they were brilliant, and I just had a glimpse of it, before the interview today. And Rochelle, what was the response like from the public, both attending live and online?
So I'm absolutely surprised by the amount of response and support we've had. Firstly, the amount of high-level profile panelists that were able to attend and be able to join the events on such short notice just shows the desperation that South Africa has for health independence and for the information to get out there. But we have been inundated with emails, WhatsApps, registrations. We've worked late into the night, early hours of the morning, trying to respond to emails and be able to send out responses with the links, set up channels for people to be able to join in. But we've had even some of the press that have contacted us and after the event now to have further follow-up meetings. So yeah, today, the whole day is just replying to emails and WhatsApps and Facebook. We couldn't even keep up yesterday with the questions that were coming in. Shabnam is absolutely excellent at just asking all the questions and just being able to follow up with what the public was asking. So we were able to communicate with her and just share some of the information and the questions that was coming through on the Facebook page and from WhatsApp, and just to be able to answer the questions. But inundated with responses. The public are asking about another event. When can we do this again? And even today, please, can you send us a link? Can we have more videos? Can we have access to things? So we've loaded a lot of the information already up onto YouTube, onto some of the other channels. The video is on Facebook, and we are just going to keep sharing it. But yeah, the public are asking, come on, we want more. So yeah, we definitely on to the right track.
All right. Speaking about wanting more, is there another Indaba in the pipeline? When can people expect it? And also, for more information, where can people go?
So yes, there will be another Indaba. We're not exactly sure of the date at this stage. It was such a success yesterday. As I said, we were inundated with messages from people. So There is talk about possibly doing one early next year, maybe Jan 2022. We have to still have the debrief meeting from yesterday with the team. So maybe we need to do another one at the end of this year before everybody takes a break in December. We still have to finalize the date, but we definitely will have information on our Facebook page, which is Hope for Humanity, and that's the number 4, Hope for Humanity, and we'll send updates there. Otherwise, we will also keep updating the website for Hope Indaba 2021 and the Facebook page for Hope Indaba as well. So the information will be shared as soon as we've got the next date, and hopefully next time, I'm sure the team will be very grateful if we have a little bit more time to plan, but definitely will be, and there definitely will be. We also had some panelists that weren't able to join us yesterday that would like to be a part of the next one. So the group is just getting bigger and bigger from a panelist point of view on the medical side, the legal team, as well as the media.
It seems like the next one is going to be even bigger and also a lot more information shared, and we are excited about it as well. Shabnam, quickly, what was the call to action at the end of the Indaba?
Good question. Thanks, Mariam. So the call to action, very exciting, is that we've teamed up with the Dear SA team. Rochelle did some very good work behind the scenes to make that happen. And so, of course, you'd be able to voice your views on mandatory jabs, the jabbing of children, the jab, DOM pass, etc. on the dearsa.co.za website. There's a petition there you can go and add your voice to. Very important to make that happen both before and after elections. And then, of course, we're asking people to vote your values. So look for a political party that does not support the lockdown, does not support mandatory, aka forced jabs, the jab, DOM pass, the jabbing of children, etc. And of course, supports access to treatments that work. And for that, you can go to www.iamstory.co.za. Go and make your voice heard. The Dear SA petition, as well as vote your values on iamstory.co.za. We need to take action. If we want health independence for Africa, it means we've got to make our own decisions about our healthcare. And as a continent, we've got to unite. We know that Africa has all of the talent and the potential to not only make our own decisions, but to be a beacon of light to the rest of the world. We are not African because we're born in Africa. We're Africans because Africa is born in us.
All right. So thank you so much, Shabnam. And any final message, Rochelle, before we close?
Yes, so definitely. When we stand together and come into unity, there can really be change. So I would just like to echo what Shabnam has said about the public going on doing for signing up for the petition on Dear South Africa. .co.za. It's under Hope-Indaba. So please go and find that. Our voice really does matter, and the power of the people is greater than the people in power. So if we can come together and stand together, we can really make a difference in this country. There's such power in the unity. There's enough people. I think a lot of the media has portrayed that we're in the minority, and that's actually not the truth. There are more people wanting truth, more people wanting freedom, more people wanting to be able to have the freedom to choose and to protect their own children and be able to take back the responsibility to make their own decisions for their children, not the government and not the schools. So if we can come together, our voice definitely counts. We are making huge waves out there. So I really want to encourage everybody that's watching to please share the information with your contacts and to stand up, because we really can make a difference and we can really shift what's happening in this nation.
Definitely. Thank you so much to both of you for your time and for chatting to us, and we to look forward to the next Hope Indaba, and keep us posted as well, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Mariam, and thank you to Salam Media.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, that was Rochelle Maynard from Hope for Humanity, as well as Shabnam Palesa Mohamed, who was the moderator for yesterday's Hope Indaba, and she's also the founder of Transformative Health Justice. And in the last few words that Rochelle said, the power of the people is greater than the people in power. It is 11:31. You are listening to the Mid-Morning Talk on Salam Media. Please stay with us. We will be right back.